first, the intro video first.
The militia.
Calling. Pharaoh Bacon.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and countrymen? Y'all, welcome to TrailBlazerz Radio. And y'all saw the video, man. Y'all know who's in the building, man. We got a great show lined up for you guys, man. I got a wonderful guest that's in the building with us tonight, and we're gonna chop it up and have some fun. But before we even do anything like that, I want to just jump into a couple of announcements, and then we're gonna get right into it. First and foremost, I want y'all guys to continue to follow us on our YouTube channel at TrailBlazerz Radio, on our Instagram page at TrailBlazerz Radio. Follow us on our Facebook page at TrailBlazerz Radio, and also follow us on LinkedIn at TrailBlazerz Radio. We got some good things coming for you guys this year. A little bit of programming changes, but also a new host that's going to be coming on. Well, new to some of y'all, familiar to a whole bunch of other people, but we ain't gonna get into that just yet. That's a surprise. But just keep your eyes and your ears on the ground for us, man. We got some great things coming for y'all. We got some good things down the road, down the pike. We got some great guests that are gonna be coming up, like the gentleman like the gentleman I have right here with me. And yeah, we gonna make sure that 2022 is not only the year of recognition for all the guests that we have this year, but also a year of elevation for all the guests that we have on this year. Because we want to make sure that not only are our guests elevated, but also make sure that they're recognized and that they're edified. And we're gonna do. I know me as a host, I'm gonna do my best to make sure I'll take that back. We are gonna do our best to make sure that every guest that we bring on is elevated, edified, and make sure that they're taken care of like family. Because when they come to this platform, literally they are family. So keep your eyes and ears on the ground for that. And we got some great things coming for y'all. But enough about that. Yo, let's this gentleman to my right, to your left, or however you're viewing him. He don't need no introduction, but I am going to do the best that I can to give this man an introduction. Man, this is a multi-talented artist, radio DJ, born and raised in Springfield, Mass. Great city, by the way. Been there more than one time. Great city, great people. A brother that after listening to his music and reading his bio, man, not only am I impressed, but I am most certainly enamored by the music, by the way he carries himself as an artist, as a human being. And we're gonna talk about that. But enough about that. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, introducing Page the Label artist, Mr. Pharaoh Bacon. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you for having me tonight.
I hope I didn't mess up the intro too much, did I?
Nah, it was good, man. It was good.
Cool, man. Cool. Springfield, Mass, man, born and raised. I mean, that's, like I said, it's a wonderful city, man. Great people too.
They call it the school first.
But everybody says I guess the people that live there say it's a little somewhat boring because they say the only thing that y'all got going down there is a basketball Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure that's not true.
Nah, we got a lot more. It's pretty much on who you know, but there's a lot of other things that's around here. Like I said, it's called the City of First. Not only do we have the Basketball Hall of Fame, now we do have MGM Casino literally downtown. We got the Armory, we got the History Museum. There's a lot of history in Springfield, Massachusetts.
I know. I mean, I wish I would have been able to check all those things out, man. The couple of times I was there, it was kind of like one of those. It wasn't an in and out thing, and we were there for a few days, but we never got to check those things out. And I think the next time I go up to Massachusetts, I'm gonna most definitely check out Springfield and check out a little bit more of Boston. But I mean, how long you been doing music though, man? How long have you been actively doing music?
Well, believe it or not, I actually been doing music ever since I was a kid. I was in like different choirs. Of course, I was in school choir and things, but I was in the after school choir, and they actually wanted to record me. My mom ain't gonna like this, but my mom was like, no. I want you to get your education. I don't need your head in the clouds. You know, I respect it. I'm a father myself, so I understand where she's coming from and things. She's only looking out for my best interest at heart. But it definitely hurt. I was like, oh man, they were trying to take me on the road. That was gonna be my first time recording for real as a kid, and I was only in elementary school. But I ended up, being a great talent and the choir teacher, Mrs. Sapp. She traveled the world, and she seen the talent in me and was like, I really want to, push your son. My mom was not having that though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I can pretty much can imagine which way that conversation went. No, he's not doing that. No, and I can already tell because probably wants you to stay in school, get your education and stuff like that, and don't want to get your head all up like, yeah, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. So I understand where that conversation went, and because I've had those conversations before with younger cats that were trying to do certain things, especially when my stepson, because my ex stepson, because he's trying to get into the music thing, and I just had to tell him just be humble and just do what you do, but make sure you get that education because that's important. So
yeah, because at the end of the day, when it comes to music, is two different parts. Of course, you got the performances and doing the actual music itself, but that business, knowing your math on things, knowing the percentages you're gonna need. You gotta really know that paperwork. So you need to take that time and get that education first.
Oh yeah, because you better have that education because if you want to make sure you get make sure your paper right.
No jokes.
no joke. Because you don't want to get shortchanged and know why you and don't know why you shortchanged. That's craziness right there. That's craziness.
Right.
So been doing this since a kid. Now you weren't in like a church choir. You weren't a PK, were you?
No. I wasn't in church choir.
Just mostly in school.
It was after school choir. As the school is like, okay, so I went to DeBerry Elementary, and then I went to Forest Park, which just so happened she ended up teaching the after school choir on both of those schools. The school itself had its own choir, which we was in competition with every time we end up having shows.
Wow.
So wow. I was the lead in the after school choir, but the school choir had their own choir. So me and their lead used to always, go head to head. But my showmanship is a whole different ballgame.
See? And I was when that's a good, and like doing things, I guess being in school choir is always good but it's also even better. It's also even much more enhanced or amplified if you have a teacher that really sees talent in you and wants you and wants you to go far, but also understands the importance of the education part of it, and I'm pretty sure the choir teacher and your mom kind of came to it. I won't even say they kind of came to an understanding. I'm pretty sure they did come to an understanding.
Yeah, my mom understanding was he ain't doing this no more. He's gonna get right back into school, and that's gonna be it. And up until I ended up stopping actually for a while. I got into commerce, got to my high school, and then I ended up being the only guy in the school choir. So then after school, I kind of left it alone for a while too. I didn't pick it back up for years.
Wow.
Then I finally got back into it, and it was like I never left.
So you took a break from it, and then you jump back into it. So when did the break come?
Really? Huh?
When did the break come? When did you take your break?
The break came right after high school. After high school, I had my first kid, so I was more focused on being a father at the time, and things, and handling my adult business, because they don't prepare you for real life like they supposed to. The bills and everything came flying in, and it was like, you better get to work.
Yeah.
So I actually took a strong hiatus from music. My brothers, they do music. You know, my family, I got a strong family that does music. My mother's brothers used to have a dance team and things when they was up, you know, when I was growing up. And, you know, watching them all, you know, I was just being a fan pretty much and just rooting for them. Low key, they was like, you need to get into the studio yourself. But I was more into dancing at the time anyway. I wasn't really focused after I kind of took that break. I was more focused on my dancing versus singing.
Right. And I think sometimes that hiatus is good for you because I think it kind of also gives you a chance to kind of re-energize and kind of put yourself in the right mindset. And you mentioned one of the things besides, you know, trying to get bills paid and stuff like that. The other thing you mentioned that you were a father at that time too. Was that kind of like the contributing factor as well?
Yeah, you know, I was more handling on responsibilities versus trying to, you know, I guess a dream. At that time, it was just a dream. So versus, you know, dreaming versus real life, I had to handle the business.
That's true. You know, being a father will push your mind in the right perspective. I know this because I got 4 of them myself and they all grown. Yeah, so I know what that means. Had that mindset change, bro. Then, I got kids. I got responsibilities. I can't be doing all this other crap now. It's not even
putting money in the studio time and buying beats and all this other stuff right now. I gotta feed this other mouth.
Exactly. And then you be looking like, okay, beats. My son or daughter needs some clothes. Beats, son or daughter need clothes. I'm gonna bite the bullet. And these clothes finna get got for this kid. I can buy these beats later.
And then, like I said, at the time, I was more following my cousins and things. They was doing the shows and they rapping and things. And at first, like the energy around Sprinkle was more veered to the rappers. So right. They wasn't really paying too much attention to singers and things anyway. So it took a second. But then after I got in, I hit the ground running.
Right. Now, is the atmosphere like that still in Springfield? Do they still pay attention to more rappers than they do singers now? Or is it kind of like an even balance now?
I would say it's still kind of geared more to rappers because it's the image. You know, kids pick up on the being flashy, of course, you know, all the money, you know, top of the line clothing and things like such. So of course they veer more to listening to rappers and trying to see that lifestyle. But they are picking up, and plus my demographic is not really men.
Women.
So women. That's the thing. And then learning the business of everything, like I said, men don't buy stuff. Women do.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Unless it's a pair of J's or that brand new Madden or 2K or Call of Duty.
Right. Now, if you got merchandise and things, you know, your more support going to come from the ladies. So I figured, let me hit my target.
Exactly. Now, when you came out your hiatus and decided, you know, take this thing serious, take your music serious, take your singing serious, and everything like that. What was one of the main drawbacks one of the main drawbacks or pitfalls that you faced when you kind of came out of that hiatus and decided to take your talent serious?
First it was my name, and people was having a problem with it. They was like, nobody gonna take your name serious. And then then it went from taking my name serious. When they heard my music, they could vibe with it. It was just mostly on the name. And then the person who was backing me, rest in peace, my first producer, Spit Flames, he was the one who put me out there and then pushed me. So I really gotta respect that man to, you know, forever. You know, he's no longer with us and things, but if it was him, I wouldn't be here, because I really was still kind of like, I don't know about this. And it's like, you got this, man. You got real talent. Like, I know you can dance and stuff, but you can sing. You need to get out here. And I was like, man, I don't know if they're gonna really take it. You know, it's a rapper city.
True. But sometimes you have to take a calculated risk, especially when you know you got talent.
Right.
The thing,
and
but
he seen that
the good
talent.
thing about it is it paid off for you though.
Very much, very much. End up getting a radio show. Shout out to Digital Boombox Network. The owner of that is Billie Jean. She actually gave me the opportunity to get on the radio. And then when I got on the radio, I wasn't even doing music I wasn't pushing music. When I got on the radio, I was pushing auto clubs. I'm a part of Auto Club too. So
Okay.
I was trying to give a different hindsight to the auto club life. It's not just about loud music and loud engines. There's other things that went behind those things.
It's the
Like
culture
my
behind
auto club, Northbury Auto Club, their main thing is for scoliosis. The owner of the auto club, his daughter has scoliosis, so everything that we do is trying to build money and things for that.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Because a lot of people look at motorcycle clubs that way. They also look at auto clubs that way. Any other clubs like that, and they just think it's about these folks having these loud bikes and these cars with nice sound systems and nice rims and stuff like that. But they don't see the back end of that. They don't see the reason why these folks, ride deep like they do. They don't see the reason. They don't see the fundraising efforts in the back end of it. I mean, I have a friend that's in a motorcycle club, and he told me, like, man, you just don't know what goes on in the background with what we do. I mean, because we out here we do cookouts for causes
Very
like human trafficking and all
very
this. I'm like, bro,
community-oriented.
go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
We're very community oriented, and then it's a family. And then once the other clubs get together and everything else, it's just pretty much politicking over, of course, cars. Of course, we do talk about the cars and motorcycles and such. But then we're trying to figure out the ways that we can build up the community, find other ways that we can, build money for these certain things that we're trying to put money into. We done did feed the homeless. We done clothes. We stood out there during the snowstorm and brought clothes out for these people and everything else. It's a lot of different things that we do. So
now is that the inspiration or driving force to to your music? And do you purposely put messages in your music?
My messages in my music. Well, it depends on the song and what's the feel. Cause
Got you.
Like it's R&B, so it's very
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but one thing I try to pride myself on is I try not to curse in my music.
Right.
So majority of my music is definitely radio ready, period. The topics that I spit, I never down talk, females or, I'm not a woman basher or nothing on that. I'm not a male basher either. I'm not looking to turn anybody down. I'm always trying to uplift. And of course, I tell my own story too. I got songs that tell about certain things that happen in my life. And put them on out there so people can listen.
See, you will be what I call an outlier, because when you listen, and I guess I'm an older head. So the music that I grew up on is more of like the late 70s, early 80s, and then into the 90s. I would say I'm one of the original MTV and VH1 kids.
Me too. I might be young-ish, but I'm in that gray area where I'm old. I'm old to the youngest, but I'm young still to the oldest.
Exactly. So you know that era. So you know what that's about be one of the original VH1 and MTV kids.
Right. I grew up on Earth, Wind and Fire, Otis Redding, Patti LaBelle, of course, because my mother. That's her favorite person. Gerald Levert, the Isley Brothers. Of course, Michael Jackson was my main inspiration. Period. If it wasn't for him, my dancing would have never been where it was at.
Exactly.
The whole Jackson vibe itself. And speaking of the Jacksons, my grandfather is actually godbrothers with Michael Jackson's father.
Joe Jackson?
Yeah.
What?
Rest in peace to my grandfather too. He's no longer with us either. But yeah, my family got pictures on Motown and everything with the family.
What? That's what's up. Now that's what's up. That's cool, man. Now, I want now. I always ask this of every artist now because I want them. Because the thing of it is, because everybody has a different sound, something that's unique to them. Like
Right,
like you, because somebody can recognize a Migos song because how they rap and stuff like that, or you can recognize a a Chris Brown song by certain lyrics, or you can recognize a her song by her voice and how the music goes. So
right.
what is your sound? What is your sound like?
My sound. Well, I classify myself. I don't even call myself, R&B artist. I call myself. I'm the king of R and Bacon. I'm gonna make my own sound, my own name. So,
I like that though. I like that.
so my music don't just, my music starts off with the sizzle, and then it pops. So it stands. I got that music that's gonna stand out to you regardless. So you can just hear the song and you'll catch yourself. Pardon yourself. You'll catch yourself singing it or just humming it just because you don't heard it. So my music gonna catch your ear and it sticks with you. It's something and it's like that melodic, so it sticks to you.
Oh, I see. I got you. Like bacon in the pan, like bacon in the pan. It starts off a little slow, then it
Uh
starts to
huh.
sizzle, and then it finally gets to that final crispiness to where it's really, really good. Oh yeah, I feel you on that. I like that.
Right.
I like that.
So, so my music builds. It builds up to that pop, and then once it gets you, it got you.
So it's infectious like that. It's not necessarily on a party vibe, but it's still infectious.
Right.
I love infectious music because and this is not to down anybody really, but again, we both are older heads. We both grew up in the MTV and VH1 generation, and then
Right.
later on, Video Soul and Yo MTV Raps and everything like that. And I'm not one to down anybody's music or anything like that, but certain stuff sounds the same now. I you laughing, but it's true though. Certain stuff sounds the same
Yeah.
now.
So I follow T-Pain on social media too, and he had the same thing. It's like, yo, stop sending me all the music that sounds the same. Y'all sound. We already got a little yachty. We already got, y'all keep making the same type music. That's why I love my music, because my music don't sound like nobody else. It's my music.
Exactly.
Once you listen to Pharaoh Bacon, you know that's my music.
Exactly. And to that point, how important is it to stand out on your own and not be like a cookie cutter or like a imitation of somebody? How important is it as an artist to stand out on your own?
Well, the thing is, the reason why a lot of artists do tend to sound like other artists is because they listen to a lot of other artists or
Right.
the mainstream artists. I
Right.
really listen to nothing but underground or independent artist music. I really don't listen to mainstream unless I'm like in the car traveling or something. But other than that,
Right.
like my main, on my playlist, I don't got, the main artists on there. I'm more listening to the underground up and coming artists because I want that. I want to listen to something else that's coming up, not what's already made it. So,
Mm.
and then with me, I don't, even before I hit the studio or something, I will make sure I don't listen to nothing else before I get to that studio. Because without, like, subconsciously, you would just start sounding like that other person that you were listening to before you got in there.
I see. I feel you. And that's a unique thought process to have. Because even with me, it's certain mainstream folks I listen to, but I always go back to the independent cast, like you, like so many other people that I've interviewed on this platform, because in each one of their sounds is so different and so unique, and it's unique to who they are. And I'm like, okay, that's like, I interviewed a young lady, Hershey the lyricist. When I listen to her music, I'm like, oh wow, she is way different than any of these other female MCs that's out there. I'm like, okay, I can get with her because she's a wordsmith, and I don't know, the
Oh
last
yeah,
time I have heard of a female wordsmith. I mean, we can talk Lauryn Hill, we can talk MC Light, all those folks, but yeah, she brought me right back to that. I'm like, okay, yeah, we good now. We good.
that's
And
what
that's
that's a lot what we've been missing though. We've been missing a lot of substance. There's a lot of gimmick music going on. It sells. I
right.
I can't go against what sells, but there's a lot of gimmick music out versus a lot of substance. Like I'm not even with my music, I'm not looking for a one hit wonder or
Right.
something quick. I want longevity. I want legacy. I'm not looking for right now to pop. If it takes a while for myself to catch on and then blow, I wait.
So you're not looking to be a flash in the pan.
No.
But think about it. Some cats will just look for that one little flash in the pan, and that's it. They kind of fall off the map. You don't hear from them again. And if you do hear from them again, it's kind of like they're on a different vibe. And I'm like, damn, what happened?
Because they're not looking. They don't. A lot of people enjoy the like the end part of the music. They're not looking for the full love of music. Like, I love music so much that even though I am an artist, I created a radio show to promote other independent artists.
See, that's what's up. I like that because you don't, and you see that a lot with independent artists. You don't necessarily see that camaraderie as far as the mainstream is concerned. Because from every experience that I've had with an independent artist, whether I go to like an event, like an industry event or something like that, and I don't go to many of them, but the events that the couple of events that I have been through, it's so much love and respect and admiration for each other, for them in the building, and it's like it's infectious. I'm like, these cats is like in direct competition with each other, but they giving each other pounds, hugs, showing love, chopping it up, just talking shop, and then just it's for some reason I don't see that so much as mainstream as I do independently. And maybe that's because everybody has so much love for each other.
It depends on your area. It depends on the area too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because when I went down to Atlanta, I performed down there. Yes, that love, respect, definitely in the building. I will always go back down to Atlanta. They showed me mad love. But in your own backyard, people be in competition with you that you didn't even know you was in competition.
No, why is it like that though? Why is it like that in your own home, and if you go outside of your own hometown, it's all love and respect, and people want to chop it up with you and trade notes and stuff like that. But when you go back to where you got your roots at, it's almost like you like one of America's Most Wanted. Why is it like that?
I think it's because one, they judging you off of, they know you, so they judging you off of your past and how they know you. The other is the crab in the bucket mentality. They don't want to see you make it without them making it. People be happy for you as long people be glad for your progression, but they don't be wanting you to be better than them. Like, I'm happy for you, but I don't want you doing better than me.
They see you rise to the surface, but they want to pull you back under the surface of the water. That's crazy, because the way I look at it, and me being an author and stuff like that, I look at it as that, this table and we sitting at a buffet table. It's enough food on this whole table for everybody to get a plate and get full.
But yeah, you got your fork in my plate.
True.
But when you get the rare ones, like I said, like myself, I'm not one of those that's, let me pull you back down. If I see that you have a talent, I would love to push you forward. I feel that, like, especially for our area, Springfield don't get that much shine when it comes to major music. So for me, it's whoever can get from here and make it. I'm rooting for you. This is hometown. I push anybody that I feel has enough talent to get out of here.
And then on top of that, y'all, it's like direct competition with folks from New York, Jersey, and all those places too.
Which I never get. Like with Massachusetts, okay, Massachusetts as a whole. There's a lot of talent that came out of Boston.
Oh yeah.
And they only speak on Boston. But the thing is, New York wraps around New England. If New England came together, it would be a full force versus just individual little states out of New England trying to make it. So that's another thing that I've been trying to work on, being a DJ, also being a part of the Wu-Tang DJ Coalition. Shout out to Jimmy King and Vega Don for even allowing me to be a part of that. But I'm trying to do a coalition with the DJs in New England to make a bigger force and a bigger sound. So that way we can get heard, in a bigger aspect versus New York. Because like I said, New York wraps around New England as a whole.
Exactly.
The state of Massachusetts is probably fit in one of the boroughs.
True. That's true. That is very true.
And then even if you think of the artists that did come out of here, New Edition, New Kids on the Block, Jonah Lucas, you got people that's coming from out of this but it's not enough noise. When an artist from New York does an event or does a video, he brings out the whole borough, and that borough is like half a state. So it looks, and they have a bigger push. The city of Springfield is but so many people here, and it's but so many people that gonna like you. But if we look at it as New England, and you get New England to back you, now that's when you have a full force, and you can actually compete with the major states and major cities.
Right, I get that, man.
So I look at it as a different aspect.
No, that's a good aspect to look at it in, because that's like you said, New England pretty much wraps around New York, and like you said, Massachusetts in itself could fit in one of the boroughs, and I find it really, it's a coincidence that it's really coincidental that you said that, because when I look at music, especially when people want to divide it up into regions and all this other stuff, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as, because south, down south, Midwest, up north, out west, stuff like that. I don't look at it like that. I never have looked at it that way.
When it comes to the majors, that's how they look at it. It's when you go East Coast sound, it's majority New York right. Sound. They don't include nobody. They don't include nobody else. It's New York sound on the East Coast. When you go south, it's a Southern sound, and that goes from Florida all the way over. It's just a Southern sound. When you got the West Coast, that's the West Coast. Period. No matter where you're from on the West, Midwest, you got from Chicago down to from Missouri and everything else. But as soon as you say East Coast, there's nobody else over here but New York. New York is the whole East Coast.
And then everybody, y'all, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, hey, we over here too now. Don't sleep on us.
Connecticut, you got Jagged Edge. You got a lot of artists that came from out this way, but you will never know.
Exactly. And that's for me, that's kind of that's the disconnect that I see, because the minute somebody says East Coast music, like you said, it's automatically New York or New Jersey off the top. Both, either one or the other. Mostly it's New York. But then when you talk about down south, then because like again, you're talking about North and South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Texas. In Texas, can't forget about Texas.
Louisiana, you got all of them.
Yeah, and then when you talk about West Coast music, you can't talk about no other place but California, because that's where it originated from. Then Midwest, you got Chicago, Mizzou, all those states in between. And like I said, it's coincidence. It's not a coincidence that you mentioned that, because New England in itself, it's not like
you got 7 states that make up New England. You got Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut. And you got all these states, but when one person blows from that one state, it's like, okay, it's still not a strong enough backing But now if
Exactly.
the whole New England back that artist,
Yeah, now you got a movement. Now you got a movement behind it.
now you
And
have to pay attention. Now it's
oh,
no choice. You have to. What's going on up there?
exactly what they got going on. What they got going on that's good out. That's good there. And
So that I think that then it will turn to then they probably will give us our own reason. It'll be the Northeast, the Northeast.
and I find that funny because like everybody I think everybody else except the music industry recognizes the Northeast because I mean even with Little League and all this, they recognize those states as Northeast and New England, and that's the thing. But when it comes to music, it's like, but it's cats that's coming out from New England that's ripping it, that's doing their thing. They may not have as much shine as these cats from other places, but they doing their thing, and they got just as much talent as these cats from New York. For me, it's always been the unfair comparison. It's always been the unfair comparison. Like they'll say New York's the shit, and New England and everybody else that's around New York is a redhead stepchild, and I don't like that.
That's a good analogy because that's definitely how it comes off too. Because no matter how big you are, if you say you're from the East, the first thing they're gonna assume is New York.
New York. Yeah, but then when you say Springfield or Boston or New Hampshire or Rhode Island or Connecticut, then you get these. Then you probably get these funny looks.
You get that, huh?
Who? Where? Where you
Simpson?
from?
Other states know Boston. They and then that's the funny thing too. Even with Massachusetts, they don't even they think that Massachusetts is a city in Boston.
Oh my God. So they think Boston is a state.
It'd be funny, yo, man. Like when I travel and I go other places and I'll be like, yeah, I'm from Massachusetts. They're like, oh, you're from Boston?
No.
No, like
No.
Boston is a city in Massachusetts.
Like, damn, haven't you heard of Boston Celtics? Come on, bro. Boston Red Sox, what's up? Come on,
Yeah, but they think that's the state. They don't think that that's the city. That's just our capital. That's the city. But
that's crazy.
only time you actually can get them to pinpoint on Springfield is when you say Smith and Wesson. Then they'll click in and be like, oh, well, okay, I got a couple of those in the back. And I'm like, oh, I understand. I bet you do.
So and again, that's real funny because it's not coincidental that you say that because it's like and we all know certain cities are known for certain things, right?
Right.
Atlanta's primarily known for strip clubs and all this other stuff that go down like that. Florida's known for being Florida. There ain't no specifics with that. I just say Florida's known for being Florida.
Florida, right.
California's known for being California. But then when you go to New England, to the states in New England, you're like, well, we in Massachusetts, what they known for? Dang, I mean, Basketball Hall of Fame, Smith and Wesson. I mean, but it's also
and then even with basketball, you know how hard it is to tell people that basketball was was invented in Massachusetts. They just swear up and down that's another New York thing. They swear up and down that basketball was created in New York, and it's like, no, go further up.
No, right here, nowhere else. Right here. Why you think this building is right here?
Right,
and that's crazy because, and like I said, for me, it's all about. I said, for me, music is music. No matter, it doesn't matter the region that you're from. And for me, if your music is good, it's gonna get regular airplay in this device right here, or it's gonna be on my TV it's gonna be on my TV on one of these bumping. Because and for me, I'm not a respecter of where you're from. If your music's good, I'm listening to it. Lately I've been on this lo-fi kick. Lately, I've been on
And
this
that's why
local
when
kick.
you leave out of your city or your area, they judge you strictly on your music.
Exactly.
That's why I do like to travel, and I tell that to any artist, no matter where you from. Travel, get out of your comfort zone, go somewhere else, and let them tell you if your music is good or not, because they will let you know. They will
Oh
let you
yeah.
know because they have no filter when you go other places because they're gonna judge you strictly off of what you're presenting to them. If you
Hmm.
don't go, when you go out other places, and there's a lot of problems that a lot of rappers get into problems with. They leave out of their comfort zone, where they finding all the support and everything else, because everybody know you. Once you
Right.
leave out, and they got to judge you strictly on your music. Then they start, oh, they was hating. Oh, no, you have a whole bunch of yes men in your area that's just rocking with you because you're giving them that light behind you. But when you go elsewhere, they strictly judging you off of your craft, and if they don't like it, they don't like it.
But you know what? But for a lot of people, that is a rude awakening.
It
Because
definitely
when they
is.
because when they go someplace else and they tell you that your music ain't hitting, that's gonna be the rules awakening, because then you have focus, like you said, you got yes men that was saying, oh yeah, man, you good, you got this and you got that, but then all of a sudden you go someplace else, nah, bro, you ain't hitting. You need to go back to where you from and go back in the lab and figure that out. Figure that out.
And that's the thing, and that's why I try to tell a lot of artists like, yo, you have to get out of your state. You gotta get out of your city. You gotta go to somewhere else where they're gonna tell you exactly what you need to hear versus what you want to hear.
Hmm. And see, that's the thing. And I think a lot of artists, well, I won't even say artists, I think a lot of creatives, that's rappers, are singers, musicians, authors, whoever, a lot of creatives don't, they don't want to hear, they want to hear what they want to hear, but then again, they don't want to hear what they need to hear, which is the cold hard honest truth that, hey,
And the labels that you're trying to fish to definitely gonna tell you exactly what you don't want to hear. They're gonna hurt your feelings and don't care because they got a whole bunch behind you that are waiting for your opportunity, and you're
Mhm.
wasting their time.
Yeah. And man, I've heard people, I mean, even as an author, man, I've submitted stuff to publishers and they tell me this is a waste of time. We're not even going to entertain this. And that hurt my feelings, but I had to understand they see something that I'm not seeing. And I need to take that as constructive criticism and get back in the lab and work. Some people just look
Yeah.
at it, they just get defensive and be like, oh man, you just hating. No, not hating. Just giving you honest opinion. If you suck, I'm gonna tell you. If you hot, I'm gonna tell you. There's no ifs, ands, and buts with that with me,
And you will know if you ain't selling. If you ain't streaming, you ain't selling. You will know quick.
man. And the good. That's a good segue. Where how important is it to have those streams? How important is it to have those people, click on and watch either listen to something that you created or watch something that you created? How important is it to an independent artist for those to get those streams?
It well, it depends on the artist. That's how I gotta put that. It depends on the artist because some artists don't really understand the business on it. When
Mhm.
if you are looking for a label and they're gonna look at your numbers,
Of course.
they want they want to make sure that when they put money behind you, that they're gonna get that money back. Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
So when they look at your numbers and they look at your streams, they look at your followers, they look at your subscribers on on all your platforms and things, it matters. And the thing is now people are paying for these things, but they don't understand that they're paying attention to that too. You have over 100,000 views, but you only have 200 likes, or
See,
not even, or you have
no.
20,000 views and you only have 5 subscribers.
That's not
Like,
see, and that's but that is bugged out to me. Why would you give, and even me as an author, I've been approached by that. I can get you this and I can get you are these organic likes or these are gonna be bots? Which one is it? Because to me,
And
organic
now,
rats are people that literally watch and like what I do. Bots is
right.
just computer generated nonsense.
And then once you go into the numbers, like on your streams and things, it helps you because then you get to target your audience. Then if you are independent artists, then it also puts you in the market. So that way now you can hit these states and things, and they're actually going to pay you to come because you're getting this many streams in this area. So that
Right.
means you're marketable. I mean, they can make a profit off of you. So
Of course.
if you're an independent artist, that's your main thing. You want to know where your music is hitting at, so that way you can go there and make money.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And the one thing that I've learned, everybody has their own methods of trying to figure out who their target audience is, or who they're gonna push their music out to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I know we talked about it a little earlier, because you said your main demographic is women.
Right.
Now, and I'm pretty sure based upon the music, did that come organically, or did it happen over time?
Nah, mine's organic. Organic. I kind of knew art for it because, like I said, I was a dancer. So
Right.
me dancing in the clubs and everything else, guys don't really want to see me moving and grooving and things. So the ones who actually do are the females. And when
Exactly.
I came out like this is my line, Pharaoh Bacon. I got my own clothing and everything else too. So guys don't want to buy nothing unless it's going to attract something. So if they see that you're attracting the ladies and things, then they will want to buy into it.
Of course. Of course.
But first off, you have to build your own audience and things. So of course, I had to put certain songs out, hit and miss, but I really didn't have too many misses.
There you go. There you go. And for all y'all young artists that's gonna be listening to this later on down the line, please heed to what my brother just said, because that is very important to know who your target audience is. Because once you pin down your target audience, those are going to be the people that's going to support you. Those are people that's going to buy your product. Those are people that's going to, if you go to a show somewhere in a different city or a different state, those are people that may show up to those shows and things of that nature. Or they'll be, if they can't go to a show in a different city or a different state, they'll come to a show that's local to them if you're in that area. So young artists, please pay attention, because it is very important for you to pin down your target audience. You can't say your music is for everybody, because that's a lie. Your music ain't for everybody. It's gonna be for a certain amount of people that's gonna vibe with you.
In a certain age group, in a
Exactly.
certain areas, and luckily, I got different types of music for different things. So
Exactly.
I got an older crowd, and I know they don't want to listen to all that hooting and hollering and things. I got music for them. When I get around the crunk crowd, I got music for them. When I get around the more laid back crowd, I got music for them. When it's nighttime and you're trying to get into the mood, I got music for you too. Like you don't be scared to even switch lanes and try different things too. People get too comfortable stuck in one lane. Even with marketing,
to be diverse, though, how important is it as an artist to be versatile? Because a lot of, and again, this is not to talk down about any artist, but a lot of artists are one trick ponies. Let's just call it what it is. A lot of artists are just one trick ponies. They got this one trick and it sells. And when they try to go outside of that one trick, it kind of falls apart. So it falls apart big time. So how important is it as an artist to be diverse, to be able to be adaptable and have different things for different occasions, or have different styles for different occasions?
It's very important, especially if you're trying to make money off of this. Now, that's the thing. If you're just doing it just because you're doing it, then you're not going to be looking at it like that. But if you're doing it to eventually get paid off of it, then you have to be versatile. If I get called right now and somebody want me to do a wedding, hey, I got music for you. You got a birthday party. Guess what? I got music for you too. You got kids. I got my kids. My own kids are my testers for the youth. So I catch my daughter singing my songs and things. I catch my boys, singing my songs. So I know that the youngers like my songs too. So you have to open up that. Yeah, it's cool that you're targeting your main people because it's still your target demographic.
Exactly.
So it's cool, but once that pool runs out, then what?
Yeah, what else you got? You got anything else up your sleeve?
Like, shoot, not only do I sing, not only do I dance, I act, I shoot. If I slim down a little bit, I can model. I'm still play football. I'm a athlete still. I make sure I can do a lot of anything. I got my own shoe line out. I got my own clothing line. Like, if I can put my hand in it, I want it.
There you go. There you go. There you go. But the one thing that I've learned is there's a danger of having your hand in too many things. And that leads to stuff like burnout, stress, and a host of other things.
Don't overdo yourself either. That's another thing. You gotta know your limits. Don't get away from your main craft.
Exactly.
If your main thing is you want to do music, make sure that anything you're doing you consist of music that you're going to venture off to. But make sure you always come back to your main. Don't lose sight of what you got into it for.
Right.
It's okay to go step off and go do a movie role. It's okay to step off and go model for a second, but just make sure that whatever you're doing still ties back into your main thing.
There you go. So so again, when the younger artists that's going to be listening to this on, later on, have short-term goals, but also have long-term goals. Make sure that whenever you cross each short-term goal you get to, you cross that off, you check that off your list, but make sure you stick to your long-term goal. Because of its longevity you're looking to have, it's cool to dabble, have your hand in other things.
Now, that's the thing. When you're looking for longevity, you gotta that's where it differs, because these artists right now are looking to pop. Pretty much, that's what a lot of artists are looking for right now, is just to get that one hit, and then they're going to
run off with it.
But then now you're always going to be looking for that main success off of that one song that you had. Now you're in competition fully with yourself, because now you're competing with that one single that you put out that pop. Now, who knows? You might not ever have that same, energy.
Exactly.
So you have to have short-term memory when it comes to music too. Like, yeah, this was good this month, but it might not pop for the next.
Yeah, because the one thing, and I heard this from Guru, a gangster, a while, but bless up to him, and I don't know if it was an interview or something, but I think it was on one of their albums, because he, the one thing that he said that impressed upon me is that, he said that they update their formulas, and I'm like, and I understood what he meant when he said that. Like, they make sure that they elevate with the times, but at the same time, everything's elevated. The rhyming is elevated, the beats are elevated, the scratching is elevated. But the other thing he impressed upon me is that at the end of the day, even though all this is elevated, it's still Guru and Premier. And I was like, okay, I get it. You can elevate, your style can elevate, but at the end of the day, it's still you. At the end, it's still who you are at the end of the day.
Yeah, don't lose your core values.
Yeah, because
trying to fit in.
Like you said, a lot of these cats want to just come in here and just boom, 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 and they want to hit that one hit and just cut. And I'm like, well, what you gonna do for an encore?
They like the ending. They don't like to put the work in.
I get it. They like the idea of being famous.
It's like somebody who's working out. You watching this dude come into the gym and he all chiseled and everything else, but you don't know how many days and how many nights he's been in here tearing his own self up to even get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, even with a lot of people get that messed up. They be like, "Oh, I did a good song, it should automatically blow." No, you don't understand that. You got promotion, you got marketing, you got mad things that still have to go into that.
Everybody want to go into beast mode without working to get to beast mode.
Exactly.
And you know that ain't, you know, that ain't just a thing you turn on and turn off. You got to work toward getting to that.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
shoot, being
younger
up
crowd
at
better listen.
2, 3 o'clock in the morning recording songs and then recorded it all the way, and then you hearing it and then like, I don't like that verse, scratch it. I gotta go back and do the whole thing over. Like, I'm my own biggest critic. You know, I can let other people tell me what they like and dislike, but at the end of the day, I nitpick in my own self.
Exactly. You have to. Because if you don't, who else will? Because if you don't criticize yourself as heavy, because everybody else is gonna be like, "Oh yeah, man, that's fire, that's good." But then when you listen to it, like, man, that's kind of trashy. But they like it. Nah, I ain't heard them. And I think and you mentioned it without really mentioning it. It's really just having the pride in your own, having pride and confidence in your own work.
Right.
Because everybody else can say, yes, it's fire. But then you listen to it like, wait a minute, that's kind of trashy. I don't like that. Let's do that again.
Well, people get content. And that's another thing. People
Oof.
definitely get content. I don't get content. Whatever, I feel like I can always outdo myself. So I don't ever feel like I completed. I always want to do better. So
Right.
yeah, I got into a magazine last year. Okay, now this year I want to get in 4. Okay, my streams hit 5,000. Okay, my next thing I put out, I want 10. You know, I'm never satisfied. I always can feel like I can do better. So I'm never content. I don't want to feel content either, because once you get content, then you get stagnant. And once you get stagnant, you get forgotten about.
Stagnation is the enemy of progress.
Mm-hmm.
Stagnation and like you said, because then you're in a, you know, now I gotta ask you this: do you ever feel you have to do you ever feel that you have to outwork anybody?
Yeah, I gotta work myself.
Outside of yourself.
Outside of myself, nah, I don't want to. If I'm in competition with anybody, then I'll look at the billboards, and I want to be on there. And then I'm looking for number one. I don't care if it's from country to what you call it. And then I don't look at one demographic either. I don't just look at one criteria of music. I want to be number one. Period. I don't care if it's country, rock, whatever. I want to be number one. That's why
number one, right?
That's why I associate myself as a pharaoh. Like, that is the supreme. That is the alpha. That's all, you know. So you can't hold yourself as a high and look lesser. So exactly. I don't just want to be the best R&B artist. I don't want to just be the best urban artist. I want to be the best artist. Period.
That's a good thought process to have, because I mean, when you, especially when you're in, not only you're in competition with yourself, but you're also in competition with other people that either share the same genre of music that you do, or share or a genre outside of what you do. That's a good, that's not a bad mentality to have, because a lot of people will look at that as an arrogant mentality. I don't look at it as like that. I look at it as like, that's something to aspire to. If I'm gonna be the best, I want to be the best to ever do it. Period.
Like, Michael didn't come out and say he wanted to be the king of pop. That he came out and said he wanted to be the best performer ever. And still to this day, you can't put. No. Yeah, you got people that resemble him, but at the end of the day, you can't match that man's talent on the stage.
Nope. Nope. You can't even emulate it. You can emulate it, but it'll never match up to that level of. It'll never match up to the level that he could do it when he did it.
Right. So that's what I'm okay. So if I would say anybody I would want to emulate would be Michael. I want to be able to stand on the stage, take off my glasses, and the whole front row just pass out. I grew up watching them HBO specials of when he performed, and that is something that I want. I want that. I want to come jumping out the floor and just stand on the stage and just stand there and everybody just and then only thing he did was just he put his hand up, grabbed his glasses off his face, took them off, and then they just cut to the crowd and grown men are passing out from him just doing that. That's what I want. I don't just want to get a Rolls Royce. I don't want just a big chain. I don't want just a nice house. I want to be able to hit anywhere in the globe and they know my name and they know my music and they know that when I hit that stage, they're going to get everything.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like Bret Hart said, the best ever. I forgot what Bret Hart said. The best
there is, the best there was, and the best there. Hold on. It's funny you even said that. That's funny. It's funny you even said that because this is my favorite wrestler. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. He came to Springfield, and I finally met this man.
That is funny. If that ain't motivation enough.
So, like, when it comes to this music stuff, yeah, like, it's great to have your local fame or,
yeah,
but that's not enough for me. Y'all, there people that put out lists and everything else of who they feel like is the top in their region or whatever. I don't want that. I want to be on the top of the Billboard charts. I want to be the hottest artist in the globe. I want to go and be over in Egypt. I want to go and be over in Australia, and they know my music to the T. That's what I want. Exactly. Y'all can have that local thing. Y'all can have that quick buzz too. I don't want that either. I want that longevity. I want your kids to know me. There's kids that was born after Michael passed and still know who he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And I think now listen to me, younger artists. Longevity is important if that's what you're looking for. But you're gonna have to work at it.
Yes. It's not
longevity does not take longevity ain't a one-hit wonder. You got to keep working at it. You got to keep working and you got to evolve. And I think and this just came to my mind real quick. And I think a lot of people are afraid of evolution. Musically, artistically, creatively.
So you got a lot of this is where I find this a lot in hip hop. Hip hop artists don't care for the new age hip hop. But I'm like, y'all not understanding that y'all was the new age hip hop when y'all came out.
Yep.
So it evolves in each generation. You might not like that kind, but if you understand it and listen, like I said, I got kids, so they're coming up in that new age. My oldest is just out of high school and things, so
right.
He's into that, mumble rap or how they put it, whatever,
right.
Rap and things like that. So to an older, they're like, "Oh, this is terrible. Turn this off." I'm like, but they're telling you their story. You're not listening. You're trying to compare it to something that you're used to versus just listening.
Yeah.
So when I go into the studio and I put out my music, I'm taking in a little piece of everything. I give you that old school vibe, old school hip hop, but then I mix it in with the new school wave. And it's a blend where it makes everybody comfortable, where everybody can come in and listen to it.
Exactly. And the one thing that I told this to my boys, because the one thing, and this is one thing I try to tell them, like I said, for me, the best evolution of an artist or a group to me was Outkast. Because they started off with Southern Playalistic, and then as gradually over time, their sound evolved. Now you got, with equipment out there, there's live instrumentation, Andre 3000 out in here making fire ass beats. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up, what's this?
And that's another thing. People get away from the live instruments. I love live instruments. I actually had just did one of my first shows with a band, and it's a different vibe when you hear them drums and that guitar and the piano and everything else and the snake, man. It touches you different.
It pulls you in. Instead of that electronic, and then, dude, if I had a choice, it would be live instrumentation all day, every day, because there's nothing like the hearing that guitar, somebody strumming a guitar, hearing that snare, hearing somebody actually play that keyboard or a piano, or somebody slapping that bass,
Yeah. But
Man,
like we grew up in a different age, though. I caught the end of all the good stuff.
right,
I ain't gonna, because my age, like I partied with the elders when I was growing up.
right.
So when y'all used to go to the club, y'all used to go party. Y'all knew y'all was gonna come out sweaty. Y'all knew y'all was going there to get down in there. And oh my gosh, and it was so much fun that when I got to finally my age group to go party, standing against the wall, looking at each other, and oh man, this is not for me. This is not for me. This is not for me. I didn't get dressed to come. I want to be in the middle of the floor, everybody looking at me dance. Watch me do my stuff.
Bruh. Man, I'm telling you, on the weekends, we knew what it was. We hitting this club. We finna be on this dance floor the whole night long. We finna walk out of here. We finna walk out of here sweaty. Man, and we're gonna be exhausted, and we're gonna walk out there having a good time.
It's the memories that y'all had versus what goes on now. Because I seen both. Like I said, I'm in the transition age. So I caught the end of the break dancing, pop locking, dancing, in the clubs, to transition to the middle, Harlem Shake, the end of the dance battling, to now guys stand against the wall, the girls are in the middle of the floor, nobody intertwined with each other at all. Everybody's just separate.
Nobody
that's
interacting with each other.
Unless you're Caribbean. That's the only ones that don't apply to. If you're Caribbean, it don't matter.
Because they gonna be in the dance floor regardless. They gonna be in the dance floor regardless.
That wall if you want to. Them island girls don't play no games. And them guys are borderline WWE wrestlers.
I seen a couple of videos with that, man. I'm like, whoa, what? Did he just Goldberg that lady for real?
Off this top speaker. And that's where, and it's funny because my uncle, he's a reggae DJ out here, Daddy Drew. I done met so many reggae celebrities before I met, the American celebrities. So I done met Sean Paul, Wayne Wonder, T.O.K. Morgan Heritage is actually from Springfield. I done met a lot of, Caribbean artists before I even got into the mainstream artists and things. So their vibe is humble. They, is very different. So growing up seeing that versus once I finally did start getting around the majors and, regular artists and things, it's a different aspect. Like the Caribbean artists are still like borderline still independent.
Yeah.
So they still humble and they still give you that respect versus somebody who done, amassed millions and feel like they just above everything.
Yeah, I mean, and a couple of now when I was a bit younger, I met Mad Cobra. That's kind of just off happenstance. I was in the military in Virginia, and his song Flex was really popping off, and I think he did a concert in Virginia Beach, and just happened to bump into him straight up happenstance. We talked for a little bit, real down to earth, humble cat. But I remember the one thing he said. Big ups to you, bless up, man. I'm like, what? This dude got a single that's popping off, and he is humble as a hummingbird. I'm like, what? What they do that at? He walked away. I'm just scratching my head like,
it's a different, and that's another thing. Like we look at things different when it comes to being on this rock called America. The Islanders, they take their island stuff very serious. That nationality stuff really means everything to them. And they back their people to a T, whether even your Spanish people. Spanish people also are just like that. They back their people to a T.
Mm-hmm.
Our urban population out here got that crab in the bucket mentality, and we don't know how to get out of it. You know, you got the house and the field. You know that word in the middle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's pretty much how I see it. You know, you got the ones that got the opportunities and everything else, but they don't really have all the talent. But they see the ones with the talent in the field, and they like, if I give you my opportunities, you're gonna take my spot. No, stay away.
But the thing with this, I don't want your spot. I just want
Exactly.
a chance. I just want a chance. And people look and people just look at it like, I'm like, dude, I don't want your spot. I could care less about your spot. I just want a chance. I'm not even clamoring to be where you are.
I don't even want you to open the door for me. Show me the door. I'll find my own way in.
Dude, if I gotta climb in through a window, I'm good.
As long as you even just, you know, but that the way everything else is right now, nobody's looking to help nobody.
No.
The ones that are, they get overlooked because they're humble. And being humble in this game right now is like a fish in shark infested waters.
But humility goes a long way though.
Yeah, when you're looking for longevity. But when you're looking for that quick stuff, and like I said, there's a lot of gimmick, you know, artists that are making it. You know, you find a gimmick and you run with it, people pay attention to it because we're in a social media age right now. So they're more popularity contest versus talent.
And then half these cats, they popping on social media, but they got this much talent, and I'm like, how'd you even get on, bro? For real, I just want to know that. I'm just saying.
Because hard work beats talent when the talent don't work hard.
But I'll be honest, how you get on, bro? And you straight trash.
Because not all how can I put it? Publicity period is good publicity. So even though they're cracking jokes on you, that's of you. And being as we're in the the age of streams and things, the fact that they keep even tuning in to laugh at you is running up your revenue. So yeah. I could be that. And the fact that you gotta see him, he's terrible. But it's just I just gotta keep watching it.
Yeah.
But he's terrible. Why do you watch it? He's terrible.
Yeah. And it's funny. And it's funny
person, and then boom, now you got over 1 million streams, you got over 1 million views. Now a major sees that. They're not even going into your history to see if you're even a good talent. They're just like, oh, you're marketable. We can put you out front and you can do what you've been doing and we can make millions off of you. And then you don't know nothing about the business. So once we come to you with this terrible contract, you're going to sign your whole life away and we're going to make all the money.
And you're going to walk away with nothing.
Nope. A chain, a nice chain. And that you're going to have to go pawn later on.
So I'm gonna tell y'all young artists. I'm gonna tell y'all young artists, if you really want to know how to not get screwed in the business, watch the story of TLC. That's a cautionary tale.
TLC, New Edition.
Why?
Especially New Edition. New Edition. Oh my man, New Edition got tore up.
From the floor, real. They put all that and end up getting it and still end up getting shafted. I'm like, are you serious right now?
And we're still living in Boston. And we're still going back home, traveling the world, overseas and everything else, and came back and was still in the projects.
Yep. And
that's when you know.
Yeah, and to me, TLC is a cautionary tale about reading the contract and find out what you're jumping into before you jump in the water. because you make all this money, but then you walk away with damn near nothing. So I'm gonna tell y'all young artists, no offense to y'all, but reading is fundamental. Please read. Please read. If you get a contract, please read it. That means from top to bottom, fine print and everything. And if you don't understand anything about a contract, get a lawyer that knows about contract law. Because they're gonna read that contract and they're gonna tell you whether it's good, bad, or just fucked up. Period. Because
if it's a major label, that's the thing. We're starting to see a lot of artist labels that are popping up, and they actually taking care of the artists because they got robbed themselves. So now they know what to expect, and they want to do it to the next. It depends on who you're going to end up trying to sign with. But a lot of these majors, they want your life. They want your whole life. I want you to sign over your name, your publishing. Because when I first started, I got hit with a contract from, I didn't disclose exactly from who, but I got hit with a contract and they wanted me to sign over my everything. They wanted me to sign over my name. They wanted me to sign over my royalties, everything. They was like, even when my radio show, they was like, we want you to stop so we can go back and renegotiate everything. And I was like,
what?
Nah, no, you got me messed up. I'm not doing that.
What? We're not doing that. They actually wanted you to stop doing your radio show.
Yeah, they said stop doing that so we can go back in and renegotiate. We can go negotiate a contract for the radio show. All your music, we want you to send us all your music and everything else. I read the contract over and I'm like, you're gonna own my masters and my name. They was like, yeah, but all the money they was talking about off of performing, I was like, yeah, all that sounds good, but y'all making all the money, and I pretty much gotta make mine on the back end. If I'm not performing, I'm not making no money.
See,
that's a bad deal. No, I'm not stupid.
Plus you want my masters, you want me to sign over my namesake, and you want me to stop doing a radio show that I've been doing way before you guys approached me.
The reason why y'all even approaching me in the first place, y'all wanted me to stop everything I'm doing, so that way y'all can put your name on it and take it over, pretty much. So that
did they approach you because you were doing a radio show?
They approached me because my music, like I said, I've been traveling and doing things like for myself for a while. Before I ended up teaming up with Ollie Production and Go Get Entertainment. Now we started Page the label. We came together and we have a whole label now. And before then, I was booking my own shows, and I found out real quick to travel. So I done did shows in Miami, Connecticut, and major platforms. So they was paying attention. Like, you don't think people paying attention, but they be paying attention. So all of a sudden, I got a yellow big freaking pamphlet that got sent in the mail. I opened it up and I'm like, oh, contract, cool. I'm just into the game. I'm like, okay, I'm about to blow up. Then as I'm really reading it, I'm like,
what's this?
I'm not gonna own nothing. Y'all gonna own everything. And then once I had my conversation with them and they're bored, I was like, we can't even renegotiate this because I'm not giving y'all my masters, and then sure ain't giving y'all full rights over my name either. That's not happening. And they was like, no, we have other artists that we can that would die for your position, and it went left. Just put it like that. So, hey, go ahead. Do you think?
Exactly. I'm not doing that because no. So
alone.
Young artists, please, if y'all get that package, read that. Read the big print and the fine print. And if you don't, and as I stated before, if you don't understand the structure of a contract and the stipulations of a contract, talk to a lawyer that knows contract law. Because
don't just look at the dollar sign number, because that's definitely how they try to get you. Because off of just looking at it, the number wise, off of what they were saying I would make performing, Yeah, it will make you want to sign. But once you actually read in depth and understand that they're gonna own you, and if you're not performing, then you're not getting no money. And then anything that they're paying for, studio time, outfits, room, board, all that, they want compensation for all that. So now you done perform and your music is selling, and you think you're supposed to have millions or even low ended thousands, and you're paying them back first before anything. So then it was like, what's the point? I was like, man, I'm not doing this. That'd be stupid. So all that, I'll stay independent.
Yep. Flash a peace sign. We out. No, we ain't worrying about that. So how did you come? How'd you hook up with Paige the label? How'd you hook up with Kai, Ali, and Tony?
So I'm actually a co-owner of Paige label.
Oh, okay.
And Ali is another co-owner, and Marcus or FB Black, he's the other co-owner.
Got it.
So we are the owners of Paige the label, and it's actually a coalition between our other companies. So when I was out here doing my own thing, it was under Pharaoh Inc. And I had stopped because like I was an artist and I was doing everything by myself. And like literally booking my own shows and out here doing it all by myself. So when I came across, it's funny, I had Ali on my radio show, and he was talking about he had brought his other artists in at the time and things, and they were talking about a show that they had coming up and whatever. And at that time, I was getting fed up. Like I was getting, like you were saying earlier, I was taking on too many things, and it was starting to suffocate me. Right. So we put the opportunity on the table and was like, we come together and we can, work. So I actually started under them as an artist under AGE. It was just Ali Production Go Getters Entertainment, and I actually started under them as just being an artist, and handling other things under being an artist. Then we came back to the table, and with a lot of the assets I have and, other connections that I had, they seemed that I was more of an asset. So then we came together and, we joined forces with all the companies instead. And that's where we got Paige.
That's what's up, man. And I mean, I've talked to Ali on a couple of occasions. I actually interviewed him as an author not several years ago, and he's a cool cat, man. Got a nice head on his shoulders, man, and real humble dude, man. If I could ever get him back on my platform, man, I'd love to have another conversation.
We can definitely set that up. He actually has his second book that he's working on that'll be coming out also.
Yeah, because I think Kai was telling me about that, and I was like, yeah, let's do that. And I mean, I know Kai and Tony from from way back too, because we were all under the same publishing label for a while. And said cool. I mean, Kai's cool, Tony's cool. I mean, Ali is like the humblest dude ever. I mean, just real unassuming. And
it's funny because we had them come in on the show also on the radio show, and now actually Ali is one of the hosts on the radio show now also, which is funny. Because like I said, when I first started the radio show, I was the host and I had a DJ in. Then me and my DJ ended up separating or whatever. But of course the show still going to go on. So I went through a couple other DJs, and then I was like, I know how to DJ myself. So I ended up taking over the DJ responsibilities. And then I came across Jimmy King with the Wu-Tang, and I ended up becoming a part of the Wu-Tang coalition, DJ coalition. So now I'm also a member of, Wu-Tang DJ coalition. With Becca Don, Capadon, everybody. I appreciate everybody. But Jimmy King is who put the opportunity on the table, straight up ENT, Wu-Tang management. And from then, I had a couple different hosts come in, but Ali, he stuck out and he definitely held it down. So even on the manager tip, because he was my manager at first when I joined AGE. So when we went down and we traveled, went down to Atlanta and everything else, he was the superb manager for an artist. Period. Like he had other artists in there coming to me asking, "Yo, is he looking for any other artists?" And they have, and then even other managers that was in there because they don't know paperwork were asking, like, "Yo, can y'all like help us? Help us out and things." So I applaud that man when it comes to his work. Like he definitely does what he's supposed to do. So now, even being a business partner, hey, we page label, we have a distribution deal through Wu-Tang Management, Sony Orchard, and like we're gonna move. So
That's
like we're setting a big stamp and stable in our New England area.
Well, they had a backing of the Wu-Tang DJ Coalition is big. That I mean, you've been doing that since 2017, right?
Right.
And let this be a lesson to any young managers or any young artists to have the right backing will take you places. As long as you do your part on your end, which is your talent, and you produce what you're supposed to produce, the right people that's behind you will back you to the moon and stars and beyond.
And you be true to yourself. Don't go in there trying to act like something. And that's the problem with a lot of these artists. You don't have to be the hoodest gangster ever to be around certain individuals because you won't even get in the door. I've been myself since day one, since I got into this music stuff. I'm very like I said, even with the radio situation, and now I also have a video show. I do like the Independent Artist 106 in Park. I do.
Wow.
Everything I do is for independent artists. I want to see us win. And if it's hard to get into the major platforms, that's what I'm here for. I want to make sure you have a stepping to where you can get that hindsight or get that look, So if you need them radio interviews, you got even your platform. But like I made a platform where strictly for 2 hours straight, I'm playing nothing but independent artist music. We interview nothing but independent artists.
There you go.
And I had a couple majors on there too, but it's not good for them. But it's good for ratings.
It's not there for y'all. It's there for these guys right here.
But then even with the video show, I was like, everybody putting out videos, but you put out your video, you get a little buzz for a week, maybe a month, and then you disappear. So I made a 106 in Park, sizzle popping videos, top 10 independent artist videos, where you can come in, you can do your world premiere, you can go head to head with anybody on the countdown to get their spot. I don't make it where it's we picking. I make it so it's strictly the audience that is picking the countdown.
There you go.
So if you have a strong fan base, I put your fan base up against this fan base. Y'all put y'all tally up all the votes and everything else, and boom, you take that spot. So I make it where it's triggered strictly just for the independent artists. That I want us to win by any means. So if it's going to be the tool to get us to the next level or give us that view where we actually bigger, where we can be side by side with the majors, this is what I'm here for.
Man, that's what's up, man. I love that. It's to be able to have a tool or at least a platform for independent artists to be able to, thrive. That's big. That's really, really big. And like you said, some majors come on in. Nah, this ain't for y'all. This is for these people. Not, y'all already established. These are for the people that's trying to get established. Man, that's what's up, though. That's what's up. And I I personally know a couple of independent artists. I would love to I would love to chop it up with you, sometime this week and introduce these some cats that I know, that could possibly make an appearance on your show if that's cool.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm always willing to cross. And that's another thing. I'm not one of those where you only got to deal with me and this is how we're only going to work. No. No, like I said, it's a network and you have to network to build your net worth. So
There you go.
I don't have all the money, but I have a lot of opportunities, and I have a lot of people that I come across. And I've been sitting in the room with millionaires and people who are doing way better than me. But the fact that I'm even able to get into this room, they see something different in me to even allow me to be in here. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, yeah, you don't necessarily need to have everything just to be welcome. If you're a genuine person, they judge you off of who you are, and they see that you're not trying to act like something or be be something that you're not. If they see that you're truly who you are or who you're portraying, then that's exactly what they're gonna judge you off. That's why even when I go out of state and I perform, yeah, I'm an artist, but I'm also a radio host. So give me your music too. I want your music the same way I want you to listen to mine. I'm listening to you. I want your music on my show. Send me it.
There you go. Factual. That's factual. I like that. I love that, man. That's that's gonna be something that's gonna be big for a lot of people that's that's trying to get in, trying to get at least put a foot in the door somewhere. And I like that. And it's a couple of artists that I've interviewed on this platform that I got in mind, and I'm most definitely gonna talk to them about about the opportunity and see what they think about it, and then I'll try to get them all together and we can just chop it up and just see where the possibilities of where that could go. So most definitely gonna get in contact with you about that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always open. Always.
That's what's up,
I'm
man.
here for it. I'm here for it. This is what I'm here for.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And now the
People, I gotta look at. Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now the one question I always like to ask all my guests that come on, and the last question of the night that I always ask my guests, life. We all know that life's a marathon. We're all in one stage of that marathon or another. One of the stages is the beginning stage where you're coming out the gate and you're beginning to get your pace. The second stage is where you're going at a good pace and you're running your race. And then the last stage is like the finish line's in sight and you're beginning to kind of pick up that pace toward the finish line. So in this marathon, and what I mean by this, man, this encompasses everything that you're doing, as a DJ, as a radio show host, as an artist, as an owner of a music label. Where do you see it? What part of this marathon do you see yourself at? Are you at the beginning? Are you at the middle? Or are you at the end? Or are you kind of looking toward the end?
I don't want to get I don't want to be at the end yet. So I was either say with the label where I'm at the beginning because we're fairly not new, but we're establishing a full foundation, and the sky's the limit pretty much with the label and things.
Right.
As an artist, I see the middle. Like I said, I don't ever want to say I'm close to the finish line because I always feel like I can go for more. And I don't ever want to feel content with what I'm doing or what I have done, because then you start getting stagnant and you start relying on that as, your day to day. I don't want to get to that point. I feel like I always could amount for more and always can do better. And there's always more opportunities for something else. So I would say I'll be stuck in the middle for a long while. But I'm comfortable. But I'm good being at the middle because I know where I done came from. I know what I done got. I got to a point, but I don't. Yeah, the finish line could be there. I don't want to hit that finish line. I'm good. Like we can make it big, but I still feel like I can do better because what I'm trying to mask and what I want to see myself at, or where I see myself at, I want to be on the level of a Michael Jackson. So if I'm not there, then I still have more work to do.
There you go. I like that. And every time I ask that question, it's always a different answer. And it's it's unique to where a lot of people that I talk to are. I mean, for you to say that you're at the middle part of it, you're at the middle part at one stage of it, but at the beginning part of another stage really kind of speaks to who you are as an individual, because the label thing is new. It's kind of new. It's not new to you, but you guys are learning to coalesce and do what y'all do. And then the music thing, you're kind of at the middle because you don't want to get to the finish line just yet, because you still got so much to accomplish. And I understand that as an artist, as someone who publish writes books and stuff like that. I'm personally at the middle because I don't want to get to the end just yet because sometimes you think your best creations are still yet to be created.
You're still manifesting a lot. So if you feel that you're getting towards the end and you feel that you completed or you're getting to your final destination, I'm not there. I got a legacy, and I'm doing this for my kids.
There you go.
So like they own part of my publishing and everything else with my music. So even once I'm out of here, I'm making sure they have something for them.
Some they can carry over and they can use to build their future with.
Right. It's generational wealth. So I'm not ever going to be content with what I'm doing. My thing is I'm building for my youth to have some.
The true definition of a pharaoh right there. Not only just all encompassing, but pharaohs build wealth and build generational wealth. They build legacies for their children, so that way their children can do the same thing for their children, and it's something that trickles down every generation. Each generation builds upon the wealth that was created by the generation prior.
Right.
I love that, man. I love that mentality because not too many people carry that mentality especially in today's day and age. A lot of us as black men don't carry that mentality, or we don't use that mindset because we don't know, a lot of us don't understand that when we're building things, we're building things for the next generation to inherit, and then that generation is going to do what they do with it, and then they're going to pass it down to the next generation, and they're going to inherit it, and that particular cycle of inheritance and building upon it continues. And
because it was a comedian I was watching, and he was like, it was a joke about pretty much working. It's like you can work at this job for 40 plus years, and then once you're done, they give you a card and an apple and tell you goodbye, and your kid can never come back to that job. He'll have to start from scratch, but you're never passing nothing off. So he's like, you're being stingy, with your own self. You're building things for yourself, but not thinking about what's coming on after you. And if you say that you're a good parent and think that you're supposed to prepare your kids for the next level. So if I feel like I'm trying to prepare them, I should make a foundation, or at least a way for them to make something else once they get to that point.
That's it. Because I tell folks all the time, and I told it to my granddaughter's mom. Once I'm gone, whatever I've helped build up for you, that's what you take and you run with it, and then you build upon it, and you continue to build upon it until when you bring your children into the world, you pass it on to them, and then let them build upon it.
And that's why I do so many different things. Got the radio show, got the label, I got my own clothing line, I got my own shoe brand. I'm making sure that whether you don't want to do music, okay, you into fashion, I got fashion for you. You're not into that, you want to be a speaker, I got radio for you. I got something that I can always pass down to my kids on any different level. So, I don't just think about me. I'm the one in now when I'm doing it, but at the end of the day, I'm not always going to be here or be able to guide them. So I got to make sure that I instill something that they always can, carry on.
That's what's up. True kingdom building right there. That's true kingdom building right there. But man, first and foremost, I enjoyed the time that we had together, man, and just chopping it up and just having a great conversation. But I want to give you this opportunity right now to give yourself that shameless plug to let everybody know who you are, where they can find you, where they can find your music at, and then we gonna take it home with this wonderful video that I downloaded, and we gonna run with it. So you got the floor, man. Shameless plug.
All right. Yo, if you don't know, you should know. I am Pharaoh Bacon, Pharaoh. This is the correct spelling of it.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Nah, you good, brother. I am the king of Bacon. Don't mistake it as R&B. No, it's Bacon. Um, I'm a radio host, Wu-Tang DJ Coalition member, Sony Orchard distribution artist, Page label co-owner. You know, one of the humblest people you ever meet. When it comes to music, you can find all my music on all platforms, literally all platforms. Pharaoh Bacon on everything, social media on everything. You can just Google me and it'll pop up. Uh, I'm here for y'all. So if you're an independent artist and you are looking for any type of help, any insight, paperwork, anything, if you just need somebody to talk to when it comes to this stuff, definitely still here for you. Other than that, peace, blessings to everybody. Blessed be the rock.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and countrymen, I want to introduce to y'all, introduce to some and then reintroduce to others, my brother Pharaoh Bacon, the king of Bacon, man. He can check him out at his various social media platforms on Facebook, IG, TikTok, YouTube at Pharaoh Bacon. Check him out. His music is on all streaming platforms. Check that out. Now, you do have an EP that's out right now, right?
Yeah, it's called Pharaoh Out the Tomb. This is my first EP. It's actually a play off of my second shoe that I dropped called Pharaoh Out the Tombs. So definitely catch that on all platforms. It's doing great numbers right now. The number one single off of that is called Calling. Number 2 on that is What You Need, will be the video that we'll be playing tonight.
That's what's up, y'all. I mean, and this guy has his hand in a whole bunch of stuff. He has his hand in a whole bunch of things. Not only does he doing music, he's got a radio show that he does. He's been a member of the Wu-Tang Coalition, Wu-Tang DJ Coalition since 2007. Their labels got distribution through Wu-Tang Management and Sony Orchard. They got a lot of things going on, man. And I am most definitely looking forward to seeing what not only you but also this label does, man. I mean, because me and Kai talked a while.
We got some very talented artists, man.
Yeah,
y'all gonna make sure y'all be on the lookout. First one up, we got FB Black. His EP about to drop next on Black's World. That will be the next one that's dropping. Then after that, y'all can catch the full album with all of us. It'll be the full label album that will be coming out with all the artists on one album. And then of course we're gonna keep trickling down and give you each individual artist EP, so y'all can get to know everybody, get familiar, and we're just gonna keep banging y'all on the head with a whole bunch of good music, the visuals, everything.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if y'all ain't heard of Springfield, Massachusetts, I promise you, once you hear one of these guys, once you hear something from Page Label, Springfield, Massachusetts should be at the forefront of your mind, or at least on a map, on your own personal map somewhere. Because and I'm gonna say this personally, just because an artist is from an obscure area doesn't mean that their music ain't bumping or their music ain't hot or it's not good. Like we talked about this before. Just because one state can fit in a whole borough of another state doesn't really mean anything. It's not about. I look at it as it's not always about it is about talent, but it's also about. I'll say it's about talent and popularity, but those two things are not always synonymous. Talent will take you one place. Popularity will take you another place. But if you're not humble with it, you'll go nowhere. And
unless your ego hold you back.
There you go. And like I said, if you guys ain't heard of Springfield, I guarantee you after this right here, Springfield will be on the map. And I am personally gonna do what I can to try to make sure that. And Kai told me that she wants me to interview everybody on the label. I said, cool, bring it. Cause I'm gonna make sure that I do my best to make sure that everybody on the label is heard, and make sure that Springfield.
Everybody on the label, definitely. Our Pace label, we biggest movement. We about to be taking over everything.
Yeah.
I can shout outs real quick. Shout out to Uncle Rock. Definitely, if it wasn't for him, he's OG out here, yo. He definitely show support for up and coming everything. Shout out to Pirates gang, Pirates name. Shout out to my little brother, Zay Pharaoh. I gotta get him on here too. He took over producing me and a lot of my music after the late great Spit Flames had passed. Um, my younger brother, yo, I put him on a pedestal because when I look at him, his talent, music, his producing, his beats, to me nobody else hold a light to him. You know, you can say I'm biased because it's my brother, but talent speaks for itself. And that boy is talented, man. He definitely is on a whole different type of time. Of course, big shout out to everybody in the 413, all the artists out here that's definitely doing their thing. Y'all catch me from the 21st to the 24th. I'll be down in Miami. Heading down to Florida, so y'all can catch me down there. I'm supposed to be doing Miami live, but it got canceled due to restrictions and whatever. But I got 3 other shows. I lost one, got 3. So
there you go.
All the flyers and everything will be up shortly. This is gonna be another year. I'm gonna be traveling a lot. So Atlanta, I'm coming back down there again. Y'all show me mad love, so I'm definitely coming back. Vegas, I'll be back out there. I'm actually going to the motherland this year. I'll see y'all in Nigeria. I'll be heading out there. Egypt, I'll be heading out there too. I got a lot of things planned off for this year. So ain't no stuff going on out here no more. It's global. Y'all gonna see me everywhere.
It's gonna be a page and label takeover, y'all. Y'all, man. First of all, I want to make sure. I want to. First of all, I want to give you a big, great, big old big ups, man, because of a lot of things, what you do, what you're doing, and the things that you're doing, and the things that you are planning to do this year, and the things that you will accomplish this year. So I want to give you the big, a great big ups, bro, and. Big ups to Page the Label, Ali, Kai, Tony. Though, I mean, big ups to y'all, man, for first of all allowing me this opportunity to interview a wonderful gentleman, a great artist, and a kingdom builder in his own right, man. So I want to thank you guys for allowing me this opportunity, man. I am more than just humbled. I am extremely grateful, and this is an opportunity that I won't forget. But I also make sure that everybody from this label that I interview, I make sure that I give them that time and that space to tell their story as much as like you came here and you told your story and we had a great conversation. So I want to thank you for you personally for giving me the opportunity to do that with you.
Appreciate it, man. No doubt.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't heard of this man, heard of my brother, Mr. Pharaoh Bacon, please acquaint yourself with him.
Oh yeah, Mama, I love you.
Good music, bro. Good music, y'all. You got his good music. Got a great head on his shoulders. He's a kingdom builder in the true definition of a kingdom builder. A DJ, a radio host. I mean, he's doing a lot of things. If you guys happen to be in the cities or the areas that he said that he's announcing that he's going to be in, make sure you guys check him out, show him some love, man. Shake a hand, take a picture, chop it up with him. You're going to find out that this is a humble individual that's got a lot of talent, but also has a lot of knowledge that he can share. So if you're in Miami, or if you're in Atlanta, or if you're wherever he's going to be at, show out, show some love, chop it up, have a conversation, man. Because again, a lot of the one thing that I've learned about independent artists, a lot of these a lot, and I'll say this: 90% of not even 90%, 95% of independent artists, the ones that I've met, are hella humble, they're hella hungry, but they're also very knowledgeable and don't mind sharing knowledge to the next person to help them get up. It's very important that we keep these people in that regard, but also do what we can as not only as fans, but not only as listeners, but not only as podcast personalities or radio show hosts to give these guys as much respect and exposure as we can give them, because the more as we give them, as we as podcast hosts and radio show hosts, we continue to give these guys the exposure and the love and show them love. it's gonna reciprocate back because they're gonna be able to, do things that they have been wanting to do as artists. And a lot of these artists that I know want to give back. And that's important that if we give them a hand up, if we give them a hand up when they reach up, we'll pull them up, but also they'll pull the next person up and the next person up, and it's gonna be a trickle down effect, y'all. Please, I just want y'all to understand that, independent artists, not to say that majors are not the driving force of everything, but independent artists, they do a lot. They sacrifice a lot. Their time, their money. Um,
And
most
remember
of
that
the time,
even your favorite major artist once was a local independent artist.
exactly. And these guys are sacrificing time, money, um, sometimes, and they're giving blood, sweat, and tears to make sure that this dream that they have comes true. And they also want to make sure that they put out the best product for you, the listener, for you, the fan, for you, the podcast host or the radio show host. They want to make sure that whatever product they put out is A1. And the very least that we can do as podcast hosts, as fans, as followers, as radio show hosts, is to give these guys their flowers while they're here, and make sure that we give them that congratulatory hug or that congratulatory handshake when it comes down to it, because literally, these guys live their life by these guys live the life that they live by the words that they write and by the performances that they do. None of this stuff comes without a cost. And sometimes that cost is at a great detriment to them. And if we realize that and we understand that, and we give these guys their flowers while they're here, it makes what they do less strenuous and less stressful. So from a podcast host to as an author, I'm giving you your flowers right now, my friend, because you deserve it. You most definitely deserve your flowers now. So
Appreciate
I'm gonna give you that double bouquet of roses right now,
it.
because you
Appreciate it, brother. And same
deserve
goes
it,
to
man.
you
You
for
deserve it.
even
You
allowing
deserve
me to be on your platform.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that I know I've been waiting for, man. We got a nice video right here, man, and we're gonna take y'all home with this video right here. What you need by my brother, Mr. Pharaoh Bacon, the king of R and bacon, not R&B, R and bacon.
Bacon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Trailblazers Radio, man. Again, follow us on our multiple platforms on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Or follow us on our YouTube channel where our shows are always live streamed. Um, where our shows are always live streamed. Um, later on in the week, I'm going to put a post on Facebook about our schedule, about schedule changes and things of that nature. So you guys keep your eyes and ears open for that. But also just follow us. Just make sure and also please follow Page the Label, follow Pharaoh Bacon, follow all the artists um on their not only on their individual social media platforms, but also follow them on the Page the Label platform, their social media platforms as well. They will appreciate you following them and keeping up with them and everything. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude this particular show for tonight. But don't worry, I got another great show for you guys tomorrow. So join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock. While I welcome Miss Sandra Gable, the Hope Dealer. We're gonna have a nice conversation about her books and also her focus on mental health. And also this coming Friday, I also have Miss Monique Duell in the building with us, and we're gonna talk about her books and also how she uses her platform to help parents of disabled children. But for right now, gonna take y'all home with my brother Pharaoh Bacon, the video. What you need. People, my brothers and sisters, if I can't tell y'all anything else, I want y'all to remember three things: stay safe, love on each other, but last but most definitely not least, please, 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 please take care of each other. Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna conclude our show. But taking y'all home with this video right here, what you need by Pharaoh Bacon. You guys have a wonderful night, and we will see y'all next time.
spark. You want somebody match that light when it's spark. Don't want somebody that will play with your needs. Yes, I know what you need. Don't want nobody who can walk how they talk. You want somebody match that light when it's spark. Don't want somebody that will play with your needs. Yes, I know what you need. We all know you got a body, girl, but with your mind that give me the time, girl. Open up your mind in different aspects. Mental power of volcano climates. Take my hand, I'll lead you out on the water. Cool you down, girl, yeah, it's just the starters. I know you thought your body's what I wanna please, but your mind, body, and soul is what I'm here to please. Don't want nobody who can walk how they talk. You want somebody match that light when it's spark. Don't want somebody that will play with your needs. Yes, I know what you need. Don't want nobody who can walk how they talk. You want somebody match that light when it's spark. Don't want somebody that will play with your needs. Yes, I know what you need. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Don't need to keep it a secret. A different kind of man with ambition could alter the situation. Burn attraction, don't leave it stagnant. Empress, tell me what you want from Pharaoh. I'll do my best and be that true hero. You can pinch yourself and know this ain't a dream. Real men exist and know how to